Hey everybody, it's AnamCara, Laura, and I bet all of you are freezing today. Anyway, the country's just had a little cold blast and a bit of a winter storm. I just got back from a walk, and so I'm still kind of getting all cozied up and warm. So I thought I'd keep my hat on for now. Anyway, it is January of 2025, and the reason I'm giving the date is because I want to share with you today. Oh, by the way, before I forget, give me a thumbs up and follow me. Um, I am going to cover a wide range of topics. It's just me talking to you, giving you, as a soul friend, advice and things that I've learned in my life. Um, and as you can hear, probably I work from home. So it is what it is. So anyway, I am going to talk to you today about starting as a crypto trader. And I'm going to say this because I know I'm supposed to. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And by the way, I am a newbie to crypto trader, a newbie. But I've learned some things that I wanted to pass on to other newbies that I have run across people who are interested and they're just completely lost. And trust me, I get it. I mean, you still, like, you hear things about wedges and heads and shoulders and exchanges and what's Bitcoin and what's XRP. Everybody's talking about XRP and what's Ripple. And is that the same thing? And I mean, there's all kinds of things. There's what is short? You know, people talk about going short and going long and closing positions and opening positions and bull markets and bear markets and you know, you just think I just want to, get started and I don't know how. And, and then you have your wallets and you have cold storage and hot storage and you have contract addresses and wallet addresses and smart contracts, and it can be just overwhelming. And so I want to talk to you as someone who is new. So those of you who are further along in the crypto journey, please give me some patience and grace. And if you want to help, share your number one advice, you can. But I will say I will turn off comments the instant I see somebody offering either spamming or you offer to help somebody in person. So I will say this, one of my number one advices is do not give away any of your information. And I wouldn't publicize that you're trying to learn crypto. Too many people out there taking advantage. So be extremely guarded and do not let anybody invest for you and do not invest for anybody else. Okay. So, all right. So the next thing is I want to give you, and I'm not very organized. I just wrote out some notes of things that I've learned as someone who is new, but I want to let you know that even though I am new, I have a little bit of experience. So I have both lost money in crypto and I have made money. Not a lot, because I have at least followed the biggest rule I would say is only invest what you can afford to lose. That means if you're just starting with $50, start with $50. I think the crypto world is very important. That is where things are going. So the other thing I would say is make sure you do your research and that you study and you learn. Now, you don't have to learn everything. I'm still at the very beginning of learning. Seriously, very beginning. And I've decided that there's some things that I want to go deeper on and there's some things that I don't. There's a lot to explore. There's meme coins and altcoins and stable coins, and it can get really overwhelming. And for me, it took me a long time to really get into the crypto world because of one thing: fear. So the first time I ever even heard about crypto was back around 2014, 2015. And somebody shared with me about Bitcoin. And I believe at the time it was only around $100. Either that or they were only asking me to invest $100. Anyway, it was super cheap. I had just heard of it. I wasn't working at the time. I had just closed one business, or I was in the process of closing. I owned a boutique, and I didn't make any money with the boutique. I was closing it with, thankfully, only about $1,000 in debt. So that's really good. So I really didn't have any money. And for me, and he was trying to explain this to me. He was so enthusiastic. And part of me, half of me was like, I really want to do this. But the other half of me was like, I don't even feel like I have $100 I can lose. And I was terrified. I was like, what if I get scammed? What if something happens? I'm like, yeah, what if I lose $100? But I think the biggest thing is I was afraid of being taken advantage of. And so I didn't do it. And this is another thing that I would say. And so my tips are in no particular order. So another tip is don't have regrets. That's really big in crypto because prices go way up and they go way down, and you can have regret in either way. And so I would say don't have regrets. It is a process. It is a journey. Nobody told me that, and I wish that is something they had told me at the beginning, because I think it would have relieved a lot of pressure for me. It felt overwhelming because I struggle to understand economics. I struggle to understand stocks, and I've just never done well. I've never been able to wrap my brain around any of that. And so it was just so overwhelming to me. And I think if just starting with the first step. So one of the other first steps I would say is go learn about Bitcoin. There's a lot of people out there saying, no, not Bitcoin. You've probably heard a lot of bad things about Bitcoin. But let me just say this. The crypto world basically is founded on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the grandfather. Bitcoin is the cornerstone. And if you don't understand Bitcoin and why it's important, you're going to have a hard time, in my opinion, understanding the rest of the crypto world. So there are some videos, and if I have time to, add links to this, which I don't know if I will, but the Coin Bureau is a YouTube channel, and they do have some really good instructional videos. Some of them might be old, that just share what is Bitcoin. And so I would say there are, just for me as a newbie, some of you may really disagree because you know more about crypto, but me as a newbie, I recommend learning about just starting out with these. First, Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then Ripple/XRP. So Ripple, there are things called Ripple contracts. Ripple is the company, XRP is their token. So research those things. Just start with that, and just get on YouTube or Google what is Bitcoin, what is Ethereum, what is XRP, or who is Ripple, and just start there. And so that's just a really great, that'll help ease the fear and the uncertainty, because it's such a different mindset. And I think those that are in the crypto world and who are making money, you forget what it's like to be faced with something that your mind is not used to thinking about. And for example, I also sell vintage typewriters. And so for those who grew up with computers, when they look at a typewriter, those of us who had them when we were growing up, I'm in my 50s, and so even though I didn't use them a lot, I did have a typing class in high school. So it wasn't, brand new to me. I had to kind of relearn a few things. But for somebody like my son, when you put a typewriter in front of them, it's very overwhelming, and they're afraid they're going to break it. It's like different neurons firing in your brain. You have to think in a different way, and that can be overwhelming and intimidating and create a lot of fear. So when you're stepping into the world of crypto, it's foreign. It's like you're learning a foreign language, and I think a lot of people who are further along in the journey forget that. Or if it comes naturally, like the whole idea of economics comes naturally to them, like they've already been involved in stocks, well, then they are immediately can step into the crypto world and have great understanding. Whereas someone like me, look, in college, I got D's in all of my economics classes. And that is with a tutor. I could not wrap my brain around it. Now if somebody's explaining it to me, I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. But then they step away and I'm like, I couldn't repeat it to you. I couldn't. And I'm going, something is not clicking here. So, then in 2020, I was introduced to a group of people who were developing, they were in the ground building stages of a new crypto called EPI1. And it was some people that I trusted, and so it was like pre-sale, and they were developing it, and it was going to take time. So I did invest in it blindly because I just didn't understand it. And I'll do another video because they finally have launched everything this week, and it's very exciting, and I'm excited to see where my initial investment, which I actually put in quite a bit of money because for me, I should say, because I really believed in their vision. And if I find I know they built a new website, so if I get that, I will put the link in the description below and find out. I think it's listed on the Solana network. They've changed the name of that coin. I don't remember if it's E1, but you'll want to look into it. It's really amazing. But in the process of that, I had to basically say, they had to go, take this step, and I did. So I had to open a wallet in MetaMask. And I'm not here to teach you how to do that. I'm just giving you my story really quick. And I had to use US dollars to buy Ethereum, to send them Ethereum in order to basically buy shares in this new company. And I bought different tokens from them that they were developing. Then they switched it to something else. I'll just say that right now. And so I had to move, and it was very disturbing for me because I'm like, what if I lose money? Because when I was investing my money, I sent a good chunk of money to the wrong address. And you have to understand that in the crypto world, it is very easy to lose your money. Very easy. And if you make a mistake, you can't unmake it. You just can't. That's just the nature of the crypto, of the blockchain. And that's why I say go back and learn about Bitcoin. And so because I sent my money to their contract address rather than a wallet address, my money was gone. And this company, they were so gracious. They tried so hard to try to find a way to recover that. But they were gracious, and they actually gave me some tokens because they felt so bad about what I had done. And that's just newbie. That is one of the mistakes. So I would say this, you can buy a token and you keep it in what you call a wallet. But when you go to move your money for the very first time out of a wallet into another wallet or into storage, please do a lot of due diligence before you do so. Because once you move that money, if you make a mistake, you can't undo it. Okay, so that's one thing that I would say. And I'm just going to go really quick through the rest. And so in that, when I had to move to a different system, I went from MetaMask to Binance because I had to now use BNB, which is another token. It's another platform. And I had to use BNB to continue working with them and investing in this company. And when I did, I just took the chance because I had to put US dollars in this exchange, which is called Binance. And I bought $100, and I put $100 in there, and I split it between Bitcoin, which was the majority of it, and some two other things I don't remember at the top of my head. And but by this point I was so shaken after losing basically $1,000 that I I walked away. I just forgot all about it, really. I mean, I knew it was there, but I was just like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't understand this. And I'm like, it's $100, whatever. Maybe I'll look it up later. Well, fast forward to 2024, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to actually learn how to do this. And I opened up, brought my wallet back to life. There had been some changes, and I opened it up, and lo and behold, my $100 had grown to nearly $400, and I was like, wow. So and I was like, you know what? This is a good time. And so I started putting a little bit of money back in, like $50, $100. I mean, literally, when I say a little, I mean a little. And unfortunately, it was at the top of the market. Well, just before I was able to buy, I've been putting off for years. I've been hearing about XRP, and I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to get some XRP. And so I waited 3 days, and in that 3 days, it went from, I don't know what, 60 cents to $1. So I was like, oh, that's what I get for waiting. But I was able to buy it at $1, and at least I got in at $1. And that was just $50. I mean, I didn't spend, or 100, I don't remember, 100 or $50, I don't remember. But then, so then I would say this. Start with $50. Start with $100. But then follow different people on YouTube and learn and buy some courses. There's some very inexpensive courses out there, and it's worth it. As someone who lost $1,000 like that because I didn't know something very basic, I would say invest the $5 a month or the $99 because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. So those are my basic tips for getting started. Start small. Only use money that you can afford to lose. And here's another big tip that I wish somebody had told me. Let's say you have $200 that you can start with. Don't spend that entire $200 right now. Go ahead and upload it into an exchange. I would recommend Uphold. I don't have a affiliate link, but I'll mention it below. I recommend Uphold, and you can upload your money into what's called a stable coin. So like RLUSD, that's basically like a dollar, a digital dollar. There's also USDC and USDT, and you'll have to pick one of those to upload your money into. You'll connect your bank. It's very safe. And they have to, it's called KYC, know your customer. So you have to prove who you are, and put your $200 in there. And it's going to ask, what do you want to put it into? Your US dollars. And you have to choose something. And like I said, choose a stable coin. Or if there's something that you really, really want to start with, like for me personally, this is not financial advice, but personally, I would pick Bitcoin or XRP. Those are my number two that I would pick. So of your $200, upload $50, and I would start with 10 just to make sure you don't mess anything up. That's what I do. When I first opened it, I started with like a couple dollars just to make sure that, the button when I hit upload or yes or whatever, confirm, things went good and I didn't lose like everything. So, test first, maybe $10, and upload from your bank to $10 in Bitcoin or whatever. And then I would upload the rest into what is called a stable coin, that RLUSD or a USDT or USDC, basically that account that kind of holds your US dollars. And then learn about how to buy. Because what I did when I reopened my account back in, I started November, and then in December is when I was like, okay, I'm going to add some more. Well, I picked the very top of the market. I mean, seriously. And the next day, everything tanked. And I'm still, but the thing is I didn't panic. Because one, I could afford to lose that money. But two, I knew I was in it for the long haul in terms of, even though I want to learn how to trade it, I have enough patience to know, I'm not going to panic. just going to wait till the prices go back up. And today they are going back up. I'm not quite even. I'm getting there, getting close to being even. I'll probably reach that today, we're break-even point, and it'll probably drop again. But watch those YouTube channels, and I'll list some good ones. You know, I really like Connor Kelly. He just is very clear, and I mean, to me, it's like, oh, because he just shows you. He has his chart, and he's like, this is what I'm buying, this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, I forgot the name of the other guy. I'll put that below. He's I think a friend of Connor Kelly's. I really like him as well. Some big picture people would be Economic Ninja. He's a really big picture person, just economics in general, but he talks a lot about crypto, but he gives you an understanding of why crypto is behaving the way it is based on global socioeconomic things that are happening. Jay Bravo is very knowledgeable, but he's much more advanced. I listen to him and I feel like I'm listening to Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. But I listen to him because I want my ears to get used to hearing the terms and picking things up. Like when I started listening, you know, he was constantly talking about DCA or wedges or head and shoulders and bull market and bear market. I didn't even know the difference between a bull and a bear market. But just from listening to these channels, I've finally figured out, okay, now I know what a bull market is. Now I know what a bear market is. I know that DCA stands for dollar cost average, and I actually know what that means. And that's just from a couple weeks. Sorry about my dog. I actually redid this video because he wouldn't stop barking in my last one. And so follow them and invest in some courses. I did buy some courses, but they were over my head. But I'm still watching them, and I'm having to just watch videos and do a little bit of Googling and research, which I don't have a ton of time. And I'll go back to those courses, and because they really make the assumption that you know some things. And I'm like, I'm just so lost, even in the beginner courses, but don't give up. So I just want to say that, don't give up, keep going. If you want to, I do recommend learn about the crypto world. You can do it. Let me see if there's anything else I recommended. Don't put everything at once. I think that's one of my biggest ones is wait till prices go down. Learn about the lows and the highs and dollar cost averaging. And don't get caught up in the excitement when you see the prices skyrocketing. Don't get caught up in FOMO. Oh, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. It's always going to come back down. It may not, the lower, in a healthy market, eventually, you know, or in a bull market, the lowers get higher and the, you know, so you may not, like, you're not probably ever going to buy Bitcoin at $1,000 again. So you have missed the boat on that, but you have to keep your eyes forward and say, but it's still going to keep going up, and there's so much more that I can participate in. So don't have that regret. So get started, even if it's the top of the market and the next day it tanks. Go ahead, but don't put all that $200 I mentioned. Don't put all that $200 in. Put your $10 or your $50 in. Just get it started. That gives you, you know, you get it in and you're like, it feels really good. It's like 90% of all your fears go away because you're like, okay, I did it. But if the market tanks in the next hour, which it has happened, you're not panicking like, oh my gosh, my $200 just went to 100. You know, you still got your $200 in like RLUSD or USDT. So your 150, you know, you've only lost maybe 25 of your 50, but that's going to go back up. Don't worry. And then, but when the price goes down, that's when you should get excited. You're like, yes, the price just went down. I may have lost $25, but I've got 150 over here. Now I can buy that same thing at a much lower price. Again, don't put all your money into it. Maybe put half of it into it, or 25%, and watch what the market does. And If it goes down again, you're like, I still have money. And then you can buy it lower until you've used up your $200. And then you just wait. And as it goes up, you start getting excited. And then pretty soon, and you can watch and you can see, oh, I'm making some profit. But be careful with your profit. Wait, make sure. This is what I'm at right now. So I'm like, okay, we're breaking even. I'm ready for some profit, but I'm not going to take all my profit out. So one, I have in my mind my goal. I want to see this much profit. And so it'll be like a stair step. I'll see maybe like a 20% gain, and I'll be like, okay, now I'm going to take out a percentage of it, maybe 25%, or maybe I have a bill come in and I'll be like, oh, I'll take 50% of it. But I'll take a percentage of the profit. And then if it goes up again, at least I don't feel bad that I've taken all my money out, or all my tokens out. I still have tokens there, so I might take a little bit more. That's called dollar cost averaging. And so it's like stair steps. So you stair step up, taking profits out, and you stair step down, buying. And when I understood that, it took all the pressure off. And so I just want to say that if you have $200 or $100, upload it into your account. Only put in a portion of it for that first day, unless everybody around you is telling this is the bottom of the market. Then obviously take somebody's advice. But my advice is just put something in for that first day, see what the market does, listen to what everybody's saying, and decide, okay, is it time to, if the market's going up, it's not the time to buy. Wait for it. It's going to go up, and you might be thinking, I'm losing out. Maybe buy a little bit more as it goes up, but just wait, because it's going to come back down. And wait for it to come back down and then buy. So that's what I would, in December, I put in a chunk of money, and it was literally the very top. And I wish, because everybody was in that hype, everybody was like, oh my gosh, there's 2020 interviews coming out, XRP to the moon. And I'm like, all right, I might be getting in late, but I want to go to the moon. And I just put all my money into it. And the next day it just tanked. And I wish I had put like 25 or 50% of my money in. And then it was actually less than a day. And then when it tanked, I would have been like, okay, I lost some money here. I have some losses here, but I still got some US dollars and I can buy. And so I could have bought it at a lower price. This is really long. I know I get windy, but I know there's people out there who are wanting to get into crypto and want to learn about it. And everybody out there who's teaching is so far ahead that they forget what it's like to be a really, really new person. And I hope this helps you a little bit. That's probably about as much help as I can give. I'll share more as I learn, but go out and learn from other people. I'll try to put all that information in the description and learn from other people. Take baby steps, but you can do it. I think it's worth it. And all the best to you. I hope you do great. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.